Don't you love the end of June, almost July? There's no training camp. Mandatory minicamp just finished up, right? So now every single player who possibly gets released, cut, even for peace sake, if they go to Burger King and have the really bad food allergies, it's what if the Bengals were to sign that player? It's pretty much what this is. So, James Robinson got cut, and I was just waiting. I was waiting to hear the articles of why the Bengals should sign him. So, let's talk about it. James Robinson, guys who not know who he was a running back for the Jacksonville Jaguars. And he was a pretty dang good running back for them. The 2.5 seasons he played for them, he had 1,070 rushing yards, 7 touchdowns, receiving 344 yards, 3 receiving touchdowns. Then his second year under Urban Meyer, had 767 yards, 8 touchdowns, and then finally he had 222 receiving yards. What really killed him in Jacksonville was number one, Travis Etienne. Travis Etienne was his replacement. The other thing that killed him, injuries. We'll talk about injuries in a second. Then after in 2022, last season, he left the Jacksonville Jaguars after Travis Etienne was looking dang good. So then he went to the Jets. And guess what? The Jets had Breece Hall. So he didn't work out with the Jets. And he only had 29 attempts for 85 yards. So, injury history. Let's go to the ugliest thing to talk about when it comes to players. In December 20th, 2021, he had a pedal ankle sprain grade 2. He suffered an ankle injury in the fourth quarter of the Week 15 game versus Baltimore Ravens. He followed up by missing 2 games. In October 31st of 2021, he had a pedal heel bruise, which he suffered a bruise in Week 8's game versus the Seahawks. He missed 1 game. And then in December 26, 2021, he had a pedal Achilles tear grade 3, which Robinson tore his Achilles tendon in his left leg, ending his 2021 season. And he never really panned out in 2022 as he played half the year for one team, half the year for another team, right? So what does he give the Cincinnati Bengals if they did pick him up, right? Because this is a name that, again, we did not expect to see on free agency. I'll be honest with you. If you're wondering, by the way, what's this smoke in the air? It's my humidifier. Sorry. It's putting water vapor in the air. So sorry about if you see water vapor in the air. But what does he bring to the Cincinnati Bengals? What does he give us that we can work with? Well, first off, he is when healthy, he's an amazing pure running back and receiving back. He's a combination of the two. He can pretty much do everything you want him to do and a cup of tea. That's a huge plus. And if we're being honest right now, Joe Mixon, while yes, Joe Mixon it can receive the ball, is a good receiver, he's not the top of the line receiving back, right? He is mainly in between the tackles, pure running back. This could be a nice change of pace guy. You bring him in and, you don't know what you're going to do on offense. You could be throwing the ball, running the football, whatever the case. You kind of do a little bit of both. But that's kind of why we drafted Chase Brown, right? Chase Brown was drafted for that said reason. His reason to be drafted was to be that split of the two and to complement Joe Mixon. I don't know if we're, realistically speaking wise, going to need 3 running backs on the roster going into this season. Now, last season, Joe Mixon obviously went down with injury. Samaje Perine stepped up and took over for Joe Mixon. And last season, we needed 3 running backs on the roster. And at the end of the day, you never really know with injuries how everything is going to pan out. Sometimes injuries work, sometimes injuries happen, sometimes they don't. So at the end of the day, you could make the argument, well, if we pick him up, it could be like almost like an insurance policy, because at this point, who is better, him or Travion Williams or Chris Evans? Probably him if he's healthy, right? At the end of the day, him if he's healthy. As I always say, though, it always comes down to one bottom line. What's the price tag? because everything looks good and amazing at the correct price tag, right? If he is willing to take a 1-year prove it deal at league minimum, oh yeah, bring him in. I don't care. You know what? Sign him. Sign him today. But I don't think he's going to take league minimum. I don't think he's going to take no money. Because he understands when he's healthy, he can be a really good running back in this league. And especially, again, if he's on the correct team, the correct system, he could be a premier running back, depending on where he goes. At this moment in time, I also don't know if he wants to be a third string running back. It's kind of what he fell through with when he was in Jacksonville, when Travis Etienne replaced him, or when he went to New York and Breece Hall replaced him. The question is, does he want to not only get paid little to no money, does he want to be in a situation where he is a third string running back? Because while yes, Chase Brown was a 5th round pick, so he was a little bit later in the pick order, so it's not like we invested too much capital into him. We really like him, okay? The fans, the coaches, the team, we like Chase Brown. So if James Robinson comes in here, yes, he can have a chance. Yes, he can play football. Yes, he can do some good things. But Chase Brown's going to get his too. And Joe Mixon's going to get his too. So it's not like this is going to be a James Robinson show. And I don't know if he would want to be in that situation. He would be, if anything, a change of pace back. And he might get, I don't know, 20, 30 carries in the next year. Maybe 35. Which, for a guy who is going to take league minimum, I'm fine with that. You give him league minimum. He gets 30 carries. Maybe he gets a goal line carry, scores a touchdown. Cool, whatever. I don't think he's going to want to do that. He's 25 years old. He has, realistically speaking, 5 more good years left before he hits the running back cliff. So, with that being said, I don't think it would work out for him coming here, because I don't think he would be in a situation where he's going to want to take the money that we're going to offer him. And also, he's not going to be in a situation where he's put in this spot, right? Where he's not the premier running back, and he's going to be what he was in the last 2 spaces. This is why Samaje Perine, even though we offered Samaje Perine the same offer that Denver offered him, he went with Denver because he knew in Denver, Javonte Williams goes off the season injured. Sean Payton runs a 2-back system. He's going to get more carries, more play time, and be a premier running back in Denver. Rather than, staying here where he'll be a backup to Joe Mixon. And whoever else we draft, he'll be a rotational piece. So he didn't want that. He wanted to go and get play time. And I respect that and I honor that. And if James Robinson, it's kind of the same concept here, I don't think James Robinson's going to want to be in that situation either. And with his injury history, which isn't actually that crazy in all honesty, I just don't think, it would work out. So my verdict is no. I don't think we're going to sign him when I don't think we should sign him. But is it possible, something get worked out if he gets desperate? We're getting around, preseason and nobody else is signing him and he just wants to prove something special? Absolutely, I don't mind it. If we give him league minimum and he's getting nothing from us, and if anything, he's just coming here to prove he's good in ring chase, then do it. I have no problem with that. But tell me down below your thoughts and opinions. I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace out.